So one of the things we love doing while on the road is meeting up with other RVers. However, it's not always ideal, and we don't always get to physically meet up with people when we want to meet up with them. One couple though we really wanted to introduce you guys to, and I know a lot of you have actually recommended we talk to them because they have a similar setup to what we're thinking about going to, is Steve and Tess with the More We Explore. They have the van pulling the Airstream. The way this is going to work, you'll actually see us, then you'll see them, then you'll see us. So it's kind of an interview. So we're gonna talk with Steve and Tess. And the first question for these guys is, how did you guys get started RVing?
Back in 2014, we were backpacking a ton. We've always been campers, although we'd never ever been in an RV before 2015. And in 2014, we camped a total of over 60 nights in a tent. And every time we went backpacking, we realized we're totally happiest when we're out in nature. When we have everything that we need to survive, we can carry on our back. We don't need more than that. So we started questioning, why do we have a 3,200 square foot house? Why do we have a big yard? Why do we have all this stuff if all it becomes is a place to hang the sleeping bags when we're not at home?
So at that point, we decided to put our house on the market, and we started getting rid of lots of our stuff and just deciding what really mattered, what was useful to us, and letting go of the rest. And we didn't have a really clear idea of what we wanted to do at that point. We were looking into getting a smaller home with a smaller yard. Then we started looking into tiny homes as well.
The problem with tiny homes where we live is you're kind of skirting the law and you're living in the gray area. And we didn't want to live in the gray, kind of where it's kind of legal, kind of not legal, and you've got to know all these codes, and we couldn't find anywhere to put one.
So in 2015, we decided, just for fun, we would rent an RV for a few days, just see what it was like, and see if maybe that's something we might be interested in doing full time.
Even though our RV rental experience wasn't amazing, it was enough to get us to realize this could be a great option for us. And then we started our RV shopping process.
It took us about a year and a half to transition from living in our house with the normal jobs to where we were able to hit the road full time. And our YouTube channel really captures that. That was something that we wanted to show, because all the channels we started following, you see them once they're on the road. But it was quite a process getting there for us. So it was cool being able to share that on our channel.
A big step was selling all our stuff and adopting a minimalist lifestyle. If our Airstream and our van caught on fire right now, we'd get another one. But even if we couldn't RV anymore, the minimalist lifestyle has stuck with us forever, and we are done buying stuff and trying to fill emotional holes with products.
That's always my favorite question, is finding out how people found out about the RV lifestyle. I always love that because everybody's got their own story to tell, their own way that they discovered and transitioned and how it went for them.
The next question is going to be a big one we get a lot. How do you make money on the road?
One of the most common questions we get is, how can you afford to do this? You must either be A, bum, B, living off the government and costing everyone else money, or C, independently wealthy. We are none of those things. Part of this year and a half transition process was finding a mobile job, and that was extremely difficult. I applied to over 400 jobs when I was in the job pool with over 500 other people. I have a good education, a good background, a solid portfolio, and I just did not give up. But that was the hardest part about transitioning, was finding a mobile job. I have a regular salaried job with benefits, and it's wonderful. But it took forever to find it, and I'm super grateful for the job that I have. My degree is in instructional design, and that's what my past 10 years of experience is in. So I build online training for companies that don't want to teach face-to-face because their companies are all spread out. So that's my specialty.
Before we hit the road, I was a hairstylist, and to really make good money being a hairstylist is very clientele based. You're kind of in it for the long haul. You're invested in those relationships with your clients. So in order to do this, I had to take a walk from that, which was a really big leap for me. But it's been really worth it. It's gotten me way out of my comfort zone. So what I do full time now that we hit the road is I work on our YouTube channel, The More We Explore, and our website that goes with that, and all the social media. So I went from having like a really great high paying career to making like $2 an hour, but it's a passion project. So if any of you are wondering like, oh, how do you make a living on YouTube? Like, we don't. It's a passion project for us.
It doesn't even pay for our fuel or our camera gear, and especially not our time. Teresa puts a good 60 hours a week into our YouTube channel.
One thing that I didn't anticipate about taking a walk for my career to do this was how humbling and how hard it would be to not have a financial contribution to us as a couple and what we're doing. I'm so grateful to Steve, and I'm grateful that he's able to provide for us. But yeah, that's been a little bit hard, and it took a little hit on my ego, and it's getting a little bit better. I'm realizing I still bring a lot of value to this team, but I didn't anticipate that.
And we are a team, and it's a team effort. From hitching up the trailer to putting everything away to routing the GPS to finding where we're going to stay. Teresa does more than her fair share of work, and it's great to have her as my teammate.
I think finding a way to make money on the road is definitely a hurdle that all of us have to kind of encounter and figure out. We all have different skills and backgrounds, and it's the big question of how do I take that on the road? And it took them a lot of time. It took us a lot of time as well.
I think what he hit on was the perseverance it takes to do that. You can either go the route of persevering and looking for a job that gives you the insurance and the benefits and things like that, or you can spend. Either way, it's a lot of work. You can go that route, or you can spend time building up your skills and try to build up your own clientele with whatever you want to do on the road to make money. The next question we asked them was, what do you like most and what do you like least about your current Airstream?
So currently we're living in a 2010 Airstream. It's a Flying Cloud 30-foot. They took the dinette, the previous owners took the dinette out and put a desk in, which has been awesome. So I love the desk. I love the build quality of Airstreams. I love the large holding tanks that we have because we have a pretty big trailer.
I absolutely love our Airstream, and we looked at hundreds of different trailers and RVs before we bought it, and we're really happy we did. But there are a few things I don't like about it. I don't like the low ground clearance. So we installed a 3-inch lift on it. We got a little video about that. That's really helped, but it's still not enough ground clearance. We would like for more. Another thing I don't like is how difficult it is to put batteries and solar on these things. They're really not meant to handle a ton of extra weight, and most of the weight needs to go on the tongue, but they're already pretty tongue heavy. So unless you're going with like a $6,000 lithium battery setup, it's going to be really tough to get the kind of power you need to live full time in an Airstream, and that's something we're struggling with right now.
We're the first to admit that we don't know everything about full-time RVing, but it definitely reaches a point in your preparation and research where you just need to take the plunge. And we were really at that stepping off point. So I feel like everything that we've learned since we've left is just kind of things that are good to learn as you go.
Yeah, before we left full-time, we'd probably only spent 5 nights, no, maybe 10 in an RV ever. And we didn't know things like how the systems worked at first. We learned that, but there was a lot to learn. I wished we'd had time to install our 4G booster and solar and battery and stuff, but we didn't really know enough about what we'd be using on a daily basis to know how to make wise decisions on that. So part of me wishes I wasn't having to figure that out on the road, and the other part of me realized we just needed to leave. At a certain point, if you wait till all your ducks are in a row, it'll take you 2-3 years before you can leave. So we just set a date and said we are leaving on this date. We were still installing shelves like 5 minutes before we left, but we knew we just had to get out and start doing it.
That's definitely great advice.
Yeah.
And that's why we talk all the time about just going for it. It's if you wait till you're 100%, then that boat might sail. That was kind of our fear. You never know what's going to come up in life or happen, and it just felt like it was the right time for us and the right decision, and we just wanted no regrets. And
Yeah.
so I think that's where you have to get to make that plunge. And I love that they set a date, and they stuck to it.
So lastly, guys, how can people connect with you?
People can connect with us through YouTube comments, which is probably where we spend most of our time. They can also send us a message through our website, through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. However you want to talk to us, we love to hear from you guys.
You can email us at themoreweexplore@gmail.com. we really like meeting people in person, and we love hearing emails too, and comments and ideas and questions people have, but we really like meeting other people in person, especially people of a like mindset who like camping, mountain biking, stand-up paddleboarding, kayaking, just getting out and enjoying the great outdoors. So if that's you, drop us a line, subscribe to us, follow us on YouTube. We love hearing about your stories, and we love sharing our story with other people. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
So really appreciate Steve and Tess taking the time to talk with us and share some things with us, and we'll catch you guys later.